Diamond Niner Gals podcast for week 6 of the 2023 season. This is Nick. I'm here with Kevin.
What's up, Niner Nation?
Producer Brad, making it all go behind the scenes.
Hey.
And last but never, ever least, Coach Ashley Chastain.
How's everyone doing?
All right, folks.
Good.
Big show for you. We're doing great, Coach. Hope you are. We got a lot of stuff to get into tonight, so we're just going to get rolling here and go right in. First, let's start with take a look back at the week that was in Diamond Niner Gal softball.
Yeah.
Niners went extra innings on Wednesday in a back-and-forth affair with the 15th ranked Duke Blue Devils. The game saw freshman Savannah Wynn build on her TikTok fame by hitting her first ever career home run as a Niner. In the end, the Devils scored the winning run in the top of the ninth on an RBI double. Coach, your thoughts on being so close against Duke in front of a great home crowd at the Soo?
Yeah. Well, I definitely want to emphasize the home crowd part. We were just really ecstatic and thrilled that we had so many people in the stands. So shout out to the CLT Goldmine guys. They continue to show up and show out for us on our big matchups here on campus at the Soo. It makes a huge difference for us as a team. They set such a good tone for the environment. And before I get into the Duke game, a little side note about the CLT Goldmine guys are actually throwing out the first pitch in tomorrow's matchup against Louisville. So, come out to the Soo tomorrow night to see them throw out the first pitch. But yeah, just reflecting on the Duke game, which, by the way, seems like a million years ago already. I think we're really disappointed every single time we lose. I mean, that's the nature of being a competitor, and especially as competitive as our program is internally. So we were disappointed for sure. My overall thoughts, we had a chance to win it several times and we just couldn't do it. We left bases loaded in 2 innings with less than 2 outs and couldn't score. Total, we left 12 on base within the game. And, I thought Barefoot and Gress both gave us a chance to win. And we had a big moment by Savannah Wynn, like you said, her first career home run as a Niner. So a lot of really good moments. I think we had some good individual performances, but at the end of the day, just kind of a heartbreaker for us to go 9 with them and to lose by 1. It was tough, and we were really disappointed in not being able to pull it out with so many opportunities to win the game. But we'll be better for it in the end. I mean, Duke was ranked 15 at the time, I believe, and won their series against Louisville in ACC play this weekend, and they have a really tough strength of schedule. So from an RPI standpoint and just from an overall strength of schedule for us, I mean, it's definitely a game that is going to help us in the end, and we learned a lot from it, and we moved on to FIU very quickly within a matter of 48 hours from last week's matchup with Duke. So it was a tough one. Really, really proud of Savannah Wynn. And like I said, I was proud of Barefoot and Gress for their pitching performances.
Kevin, remind me the next time we see Savannah to ask her which is better, TikTok fame or the first career homer.
I think we know the answer to that, Nick.
I do too, but it's still a fun question.
Yeah.
I know what she would say, but I would love to hear her response.
Well, let's have her on the show.
We need to make that happen for sure.
Coach, you mentioned the FIU series. This Friday, we opened up Conference USA play, our last season in Conference USA. The Niners opened up play with an 8-5 win over FIU. Sam Gress with a complete game with 6 Ks. Lexi Winters tied the game at 5 with a 2-run homer. 2 unearned runs in the 4th and another in the 5th wound up making a difference for the Niners in the Friday victory. I actually got to catch the last inning since the baseball game went so quickly. I got to catch the last inning of play and saw the Niners clinch that one in person. So that was a thrill to me. Coach, I'm sorry. Nick's going to go with Saturday.
Yeah, before we move on to Saturday, recap this whole FIU series. I will ask for a comment on this, Coach. Have you ever seen a softball game be in the 5th inning and a baseball game 9 innings is already done?
No, I was going to make a comment on it as well. Typically for us, if we have the same first pitch time, we can get finished with our game, closed up shop, had our team talk, got everything situated down here at the Sioux, and then I can walk over to the Hayes and still catch 3 or 4 innings of the baseball game. And before I know it, I look up and Celeste Simmons and JT, Tyler and Celeste's little boy, they're on our field post game. And I'm kind of looking over there. And I'm like, well, I wonder what's going on over at the Hayes, And she laughed so hard. We talked about it. She's like, this is the first time ever that you guys have played longer than baseball. And I'm like, that is so true. It's the first time ever. It's that pitch clock, just keep it rolling.
For those of you that don't know, on Friday night over at the Hayes, Wyatt Hoodlepole put on a performance for the ages. He struck out 17 batters, and Kevin was handling the tweeting responsibilities over there. Kevin said that he couldn't get the tweets out fast enough. Hoodlepole was sitting the batters down so fast. The half inning was over before he even had the last tweet sent. So, that game went really, really quick because Wyatt was just carving up Old Dominion up. But yeah, that had to be an odd feeling seeing the baseball crowd file into the Sioux, because as you point out, it's usually the other way around.
Yeah, it did feel like we got an influx of people there at the end of the game. So it made sense to me of why we had so many people start to walk up. But man, what a performance by Wyatt. That's just unbelievable and so exciting for them. And something you don't see very often.
Yeah, 17 Ks, program record. What a performance. So moving on to Saturday, you guys went with a doubleheader because of what ended up being terrible weather on Sunday. Gals wasted no time. You ruled the Panthers 8-0 in 5 innings. Lena Elkins went complete game shutout with 6 Ks and no walks. Boo, Corey Hoffler, Ella Chansley, all homered in the game. And that win secured the series for the Niners, and then set you up for the second game of the doubleheader.
So, game 2, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Going for the sweep, game 2. Game didn't go our way. Niners lost 5-3. Cass Krupp hit a 3-run homer, put the Niners up 2 in the 5th. But the visitors scored 4 unanswered to snag the final game. But opening series win for the Niners, sitting tied atop the leaderboard after week 1. Coach, what are your thoughts on the opening weekend for the Niners?
Yeah, it's it always is kind of a different feel when you have to adjust the schedule based on weather. When you play outdoors, you kind of have to roll with it. But when the weather started looking poor throughout the week, we decided on Thursday that we probably were going to have to play 2 games on Saturday and then confirm that with FIU on Friday night. So it kind of, it's a different feel when you have to show up and play a doubleheader and beat someone twice. It's hard enough to beat someone 3 times over 3 days, and even harder to beat someone 3 times in 2 days. So, first and foremost, I am super proud of the team overall, just with winning the first series. That's really what we want to do, is we want to win a ton of series through the conference play. We feel like that's going to get us where we want to go in our last season in Conference USA, which is a championship, the regular season and the tournament championship. So yeah, really proud of them for pulling that out and winning the first series. It kind of sets the tone for the rest of the season. Really individually, game 1, Sam Gress again, threw her heart out, and I think in game 1 we had a lot of really great offense. So I think FIU actually scored first in game 1, and we just continued to answer. So they scored often early, and then we just answered right back. So that was kind of cool to see. Our offense was kind of just oh, whatever, and we strung a lot together. So it was good to see us have multiple people in the order have success multiple times in that first game. And then game 2 was the first game of the doubleheader on Saturday. We gave the ball to Lena Elkins, and, just our Nitro hometown hero from West Virginia, first start in Conference USA results in a shutout win. And as you mentioned, 6 punch outs, no walks, and I think she gave up 2 hits. So, and it was powered by run ruled offense. So we won 8-0 in 5. I mean, that's just, you can't ask for any better all the way around than that, offensively and from the circle. So really proud of her and just the maturity that she showed in the first time she got the ball in conference. Didn't make the moment too big, and just went out and pitched like she did a couple weekends ago in Athens when she threw so well against St. John's and threw the no-hitter. So really proud of her. And the third game 2 on Saturday, I don't know, FIU, they don't have a ton of velocity in their pitching staff. It was a lot of slow, a lot of change ups, a lot of spinny. They all threw about the same speed, high 50s, low 60s. And we figured out the first couple arms that we saw, game 1, game 2, we were able to score. And then in game 3, we just couldn't figure it out. So very disappointed with, our 2-hit performance in game 3 on Saturday. It'd be really easy for us to dwell on that. But, we just review the film and we reflect on it as a team and have those conversations and, celebrate the series win, get better from the loss. And then we're moving on to week 6, which, if you looked at our schedule this week, is a really interesting schedule for us. And I'm sure we'll get into that here in a second. But overall, really happy and pleased with a series win to open up conference play. And, proud of Lena Elkins, Sam Grass. Savannah Wynn is our leading offensive player over the last 10 and the last 5. Over the last 10, she's hitting .364, and last 5, she's hitting .308. So, I think Savannah struggled a little bit defensively for us. A shortstop gets a ton of opportunity to make a ton of plays. And, she's learning how to play the position at this level and is really good. And she just struggled a little bit defensively. So as her coach, I'm really proud of her maturity. And she had a great week at the plate, no matter how she played on the defensive side of the ball. So being able to compartmentalize those two things is a big deal. I'm really proud of the work that she did at the plate. So a lot of good stuff, and it'll make us better here moving into week 6.
Is it possible that there's a correlation between TikTok views and hitting? I don't know.
Well, if there is, then we're going to start making a ton of TikTok videos.
I won't ask you to comment on this, but Kevin, I was thinking as you were saying, this is our last first weekend in Conference USA play. The move to the American is getting really, really close, and just on my side of things, that's a good thing. That's I am so ready. I think all the fans are. We are ready for the American across the board. All sports. Let's go ahead and finish strong in Conference USA and then be out. Let's leave and take all the trophies with us. How about that? That'd be cool.
Yeah. We real quick, we did someone did send us a Major League Baseball pitcher from Nitro, West Virginia. So he's got some competition for the best pitcher out of Nitro, West Virginia. I forget his name, Nick.
He's the MVP of the 1957 World Series. Is a pitcher from Nitro, West Virginia. I'll look it up. CBS. He'll Chris Seaford. He'll be on us. He'll be like, I told you the guy's name. I've already forgotten it, but yeah.
You're telling me Lena's got a little competition.
Maybe. I don't know. She's probably already surpassed.
MVP of the, I believe it was the 57 World Series from Nitro, West Virginia. So that's a little, but hey, Lena's still in the game, right? So yeah.
She's got some time to get some World Series titles of her own, right?
Yeah.
So amen. That is so cool. I'll have to ask her or maybe her parents. They're here pretty much every weekend and they're awesome. So I'll have to ask her parents if they know who it is.
Yeah. So we'll have to effort that. So Coach, with the week, your strength of schedule is helping you out so much. Not only preparing you for the rest of the season, but your RPI is hanging in there, and you even went up a few spots this week. So you're up to 28th in the NCAA official RPI that came out today.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, like we've discussed, on several of these shows over the past few weeks, strength of schedule is really important to us as a program and important to us as a staff, and something that we've, chosen to prioritize when scheduling. And I think it's really unique to our location here in Charlotte. So yeah, I'm not surprised that we're hanging tight there in the strength of schedule, and hanging tight in the RPI. And I think that's the benefit that you get when you choose to play really good competition. I think as a staff, and I know, so many of our players listen to this, week to week, and, they definitely give me a hard time about some of the things I say over the next few days after you guys post this. But, for us, I think we're just focused like week to week, game to game, series to series. As a staff, I think we kind of keep check on those things internally just to, keep a pulse on where we're at, and make sure that, we're making the right decisions and know where we're at and what to expect. But as far as the team goes, I think it's important just to put their head down, their eyes forward on the task that's hand. And I don't want them to have any pressure, anxiety, or worry about, our strength of schedule or RPI. I just want them to go out and play hard and expect to win every time, and stick in the process that we've worked so hard at over the past, 7-8 months with this group. So, yeah, I mean, the RPI is really exciting. I think we're in a really, really great spot, but it's definitely not something at this point that we're focused too much on. We're focused on today. We had practice today. Normally Monday's our off day, but because we got rained out yesterday, we declare our weeks Sunday to Saturday, and we have to have one off day over those 7 days. So we took yesterday off due to the weather, and we went back to work today, and did a ton of Louisville prep. And had practice on a Monday afternoon, which is a little unusual for us. And, really we're just focused on Louisville for tomorrow. And then after tomorrow's game is over, we will focus on Clemson for Wednesday, and then we'll fly to FAU on Thursday. So that's really kind of all we're worried about, is really what's in front of us.
Yeah. I looked it up, Kevin. Lou Burdett played 18 seasons in the bigs, had 203 wins, almost 1,100 strikeouts, two-time All-Star, led the National League in ERA in 1956, won the World Series in 1957, was MVP World Series in 57. So led the National Leagues in wins in 1959. So yeah, there's Lou Burdett from Nitro, West Virginia. So
there you go. Something you won't see in a box score, right?
Yeah.
So cool.
Where else you can learn that? I shout out to Chris Seifert for turning us onto that, because trust me, we didn't know that.
Yeah. Coach, you spoke about RPI a little bit. RPI is kind of just something for guys with podcasts and fans to talk about and get excited and discuss. But I was looking at Conference USA's 5 of the 10 teams in Conference USA have a top 100 RPI. Mm-hmm. So going forward, it looks like the conference will be in good shape come tournament time to have multiple bids. It seems based on the early RPIs. There it is now. But
yeah,
just something for us to look at and keep track of. But like you said, girls, keep your heads down and keep moving. Keep winning. Yeah. Don't worry about this stuff.
Stop taking notes right now. We heard y'all take notes. Don't pay attention to this stuff. This is not for y'all.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely don't try to hide anything from them. I mean, we have some of these conversations throughout this season. Some of them actually coming into the program as freshmen, they don't know how the RPI works. They don't know what strength of schedule means. They don't know what RPI is. They don't understand some of those things. They play travel ball and showcase ball, and they get recruited, and then, they watch NCAA postseason at home in high school, but they don't know how all of that operates. So we definitely have some educational sessions throughout the year. And as we get closer to, May and June, we'll have some of those conversations with them. So I don't want to hide it from them, but I just, to me, it's just not something that they need to focus on right now. And we always say the game gives you enough pressure and enough adversity to really fight through. So I just want them focused on those things. But it is really exciting. It's exciting to be, a Charlotte softball fan. It really, in any capacity, a part of our program. I mean, it's exciting to see where we're at, and it's exciting to see where the conference is as a whole. So, we've got some big matchups coming up. And for us, like, we really celebrate that the conference was good last year, and it seems like it's even better from an RPI standpoint this year. So, we really like to celebrate that.
Speaking of things that fans should be focused on, there's something we've been meaning to bring up on the show, and it's only taken to episode 6 now for us to actually get around to it. We're incredibly efficient here at Diamond Nine Report. The Gold Glove Club is something that's out there, and look at there, producer Brad, Johnny on the spot with a graphic. Everything we do athletically as an institution, as a university, as an athletic program, and as a softball program, comes down to we need the ability to fund advancement for the programs, right? The softball program has, if you aren't aware, the softball has this program called the Gold Glove Club. And it is a great way to get involved with the program and make some cool stuff happen. There's giving levels. You get stuff in exchange for the giving levels. We're not going to go through all that here, other than to say, if you head over to charlotte49ers.com and go to the softball page, you can check out the information on the Gold Glove Club. And it's been a great way over the years, one, to help make an impact for the program, but two, to get some pretty cool softball gear and things that you wouldn't normally have access to from the program. And I know, Coach, for you guys, it helps make an incredible difference as you're trying to elevate the level of the program.
Yeah, it's unbelievable the amount of support that we have felt over the last 3 years. I mean, that's essentially how old the Gold Glove membership is at this point. We created it 3 years ago just as an avenue for you to specifically support our team and our program. And we would not be able to do some of the things that we do without the support that we've gotten over the last 3 years from this membership. And, to say we're thankful is a complete understatement. I mean, it's been unbelievable, some of the things that we've been able to do and fund for our current players that are in the locker room right now. Technology, player development items, experiences for them, just some things that we're not able to cover out of our normal operating budgetary resources. So, I'm just so thankful for the Gold Glove members, and they've gone above and beyond. We actually got a program golf cart last year from a Deer fan and someone that's in our program. So just that alone makes our recruiting experience better for incoming families. It makes our day-to-day experience here on campus better. That's just an example of a gift that was given to us, that doesn't seem like a big deal, but it has changed our program. But there's really no gifts too small that makes an impact. We have a bunch of different membership levels, like you said, Nick, and it's just a great way to get involved with the program. You get updates and different things, and when you show up at the SUE, you really, you made a difference in some aspect of what you see. Which is really cool. So it is a great way to support it. And, all of it goes directly to the current team. That's where it's going to go.
I got a really cool Charlotte softball Nike shirt showed up here at my house, and my daughter saw it and she took it. So that's how my Gold Glove experience went. But that's cool because she's all about it. So yeah. Cool shirt showed up, got stolen first day.
Well, I usually wear mine on the show, but I didn't have it tonight, so I'll have it back next time, next week. Speaking of softball supporters, this week we usually give a shout out on the show. It's kind of become a weekly thing. This week we'll give a shout out to our friend Ken Braswell, big time 49er supporter, Charlotte softball supporter for many years. Every time I go over to the Sioux, I see him there. I see him at the Hayes, see him at softball, soccer, hang out with him at football games. So he's
It's hard to go to campus without running into Ken.
yeah. I ran into him twice this weekend, Friday and Saturday. He said he watched the show. He enjoyed it. He said he's glad we're doing a softball show now. He really appreciates it. But he did have a question for you, Coach. He wanted me to ask. He said there was an intentional walk issued in the Duke game, and there was a strike thrown during the sequence. Ken wants to know if that was intentional or accidental.
That's a great question, Ken. We really appreciate your support on the Gold Glove membership and just, physically coming to watch us play all the time. Specific to this question, that was definitely accidental. I believe it was barefoot. We intentionally walked twice in the Duke game. Barefoot intentionally walked Gold, and I believe Grass intentionally walked Gold as well. To throw to Claire Davidson, the lefty that was on deck. And if my memory serves me correct in the moment, I believe it was barefoot. She throws a ton of, it's a backdoor curve, which actually comes out of the strike zone into the strike zone to a right-handed hitter. And so that's just very natural for her. And so intentionally walking someone that far away from her release point is a challenge for her. Really, it's a challenge for anyone. But specifically with how she throws, and she accidentally threw a strike in that count. And as the pitch caller, I'm sitting over there kind of assessing the situation of like, well, do we throw to her now? We've got a called strike. Like, do we get back into the count? But we stuck with the plan of continuing to actually intentionally walk Gold in that situation and throw to Davidson, which served us well in both scenarios. Sometimes those things happen, but it was definitely accidental.
I think what I hear you saying, Coach, is that Gigi throws so many strikes that she has a hard time not doing it.
Pretty much. That's exactly that. That's a simpler way of saying what I said. Yes.
that it's harder for her to not throw a strike than it is to throw one.
Yeah. I would love to go back on that game and get a shot of her face the moment that the umpire called a strike in that situation, just to see the reaction, because she probably was like wide-eyed, like, oh my gosh, what did I just do? But
was it really a strike, or was it just a?
It was a strike. Yeah.
Okay.
It was in the strike zone. Yeah.
What?
It was on the
Are you about to suggest that an umpire would get a call wrong? Come on.
That's
a whole nother conversation for a different show as umpires.
That's a whole season of shows.
Yeah. A show we won't show to anyone. So there you go, Ken. You got your question answered. If you're watching this and you're like, hey, I could ask a question, you're right. You could. Write in. Ask us a question. We'll be asking your question on next week. So something happens, or you just have a general question. I don't know. Maybe you want to know, what flavored gum Coach Chastain chews during the game or something. I don't know. Ask anything you want. Send us a question. We'll ask it. Something else we want to put in front of you. And we have been waiting on this one. So Kevin and I guess way to set this up is Kevin and myself and producer Brad, we're all alums of the institution and very proud of that. And we're the type of guys that we're only doing what we're doing because we saw a need for it. We saw a need for it. And rather than just complain and say somebody ought to do that, we decided to just go do it. That's what got us into doing baseball, and now this expansion into softball. So we're just alums that decided to do something about something that we thought needed to be done. Okay. So in that same vein, we've got a couple of friends, or they've become good friends, Nick and Joel, that have started an apparel company. There it is. There, producer Brad on the spot. One Campus company. Okay. One Campus is a gear site for Charlotte 49er stuff. All right. Now, they started off offering just regular 49er stuff. In fact, this vest I'm wearing is one of their products. However, more recently, they developed a baseball only catalog, and it did pretty well. Now they have developed a softball specific catalog. Okay. So if you go to One Campus's site, there is Charlotte softball gear, Here, look here, producer Brad. He is all over it tonight. You can go to their site and you can order Charlotte softball gear. I got a absolutely sick Charlotte baseball rain jacket and a Nike hoodie. This is not like, forgive my description. This is not like cheap, crappy stuff. These guys have quality products that you're going to want to wear. And they have a variety of softball logos that you can customize the gear. Okay. Now I'm going to explain this to you though. There is a slight way that they do business that you need to be aware of. They open windows on the catalog and they take orders. Once the window closes, then they fulfill the orders. So what I'm telling you is if you go to One Campus's website and pick out some really sick Charlotte softball gear, that order will be fulfilled after March 24th. Okay. So you've got between now and March 24th to go look at their stuff. Try not to, blow your whole savings and all that stuff, and decide what you want and click submit on your order. Then after March 24th, the gear gets made and it gets shipped. That's how they keep the prices in line. They don't have an inventory. Okay. They make it, it's custom gear. They make it for you after you order it. All right. These guys, they're friends. We've become friends with these guys. They're not quote unquote sponsors because we don't have sponsors. This is just something that these guys are doing that we believe in, and we want to tell you about it. Because let's face it, where else can you go and get like really sweet Charlotte softball custom gear? We don't know of another place. So that's why we're telling you about it, and you should go check it out. Like I said, we Kevin and I both participated in the first baseball order, and the stuff we got from them was beyond sick. Kevin's got the Charlotte baseball shirt on. You can get that shirt that says CLT softball too. So anyway, enough about that. Those guys are awesome. They do a great job. Go check them out. If you want Charlotte softball gear, there you go. You won't regret it. Promise it.
All right. You ready to look at the week ahead, Coach? Or
Let's do it.
You've already been looking a week ahead.
I've already been looking, yeah.
I think she started already.
So Tuesday we've got the CLT Gold Mine throwing out first pitch tomorrow at the Sioux.
Can we heckle them?
I think you should give them a little.
That's what they do is they heckle.
Yeah, we need to go on their Instagram page and find the dirt on them so we can heckle them like they heckle players. No, we won't do that. We just supply them with ammo. So Niners host Louisville tomorrow at the Sioux, 3 p.m. First pitch. Cardinals are 15-8. Like you said before, they lost a weekend series to Duke in Durham over the weekend. They're currently 62nd in RPI. So once again, strength of schedule is going to remain stout. Coach, what else could you tell us about Louisville in the game tomorrow?
Yeah, we expect it to be a tough game. They've got two pitchers that have thrown the majority of innings for them. One's a freshman, one's a veteran pitcher. They both have a 2 or sub-2 ERA. So I think they're going to be able to pitch, and offensively, they've got a couple hitters at the top that are, seeing success on the year. One thing that stands out to me is I think that they run a lot. They've got, they've got stolen bases all through the order. They've got a couple kids that are already right at or above double digit stolen bases on the year. So I think that from the start, they're going to be a tough opponent. And for us, I think how that translates defensively is just being ready to go when the game starts. I think one thing, the leadoff, going back to the FIU series in relation to that, their leadoff on the series on the weekend put down a bunt on the first or second pitch of the series and kind of caught us on our heels for a second. And I think that, we kind of talked about that as a program. If when the first pitch is thrown, we can never be on our heels defensively. So I think Louisville is going to put us to the test on that. And, we're just going to play relaxed defense with a sense of urgency to get the ball, get the play made. So that's what we expect from them, is that they apply pressure with the run game. They've got two arms they can go to in the circle. And So it'll be a good matchup. They are on spring break. They played Duke this past weekend, and they kind of sought us out to play midweek before they went back home. So they're flying home tomorrow night after our matchup. So that's why the schedule kind of played out how it was. We don't typically play Tuesdays. Just a few on the season, and we definitely usually don't play Tuesday and Wednesday, but kind of building off of our philosophy of playing really good opponents, like you don't get to play Louisville at home very often. And so, when they reached out about playing tomorrow, this was, almost a year ago at this point, we jumped on it and we're really excited to play those guys.
Well, luckily, Coach, on Wednesday, the schedule opens up a little bit. Should get a lot easier. You and the gals are headed down to Clemson, South Carolina, where the Tigers are 25-1. Ranked 6th by D1 softball this week, and you're just going to go down there and just take on the 25-1 6th ranked Tigers. You probably haven't even looked at that game yet.
Well, we've started to. I told the team today at practice that I really wanted them to focus on Louisville for tomorrow. And then once tomorrow's game's over, then we can set our eyes on the Clemson information. But as a staff, all the credit goes to Taylor, Jody, and CJ. They put in so many hours of film and preparation week to week. And with the schedules that we have, and, you're playing a different opponent every so many days. I mean, like, 2 days, 3 days, you're playing someone different. So you kind of have to stay on top of it. And they definitely do such a great job at that. So we've already started preparing for them, but we just really want the team to focus on tomorrow. And that was what today's practice was about, was Louisville. And, but yeah, I mean, going down to Clemson is a great opportunity for us to play a really tough opponent on the road. They've obviously had a stellar start. Now, not really start. I mean, we're about halfway through at this point. So they've had a fantastic season. And, for us to go down and have an opportunity to win in that environment only prepares us for regionals, because that's a regional atmosphere. I was actually talking to my own family who's coming up for the game on Wednesday from Atlanta, and you can't really get tickets online. You can get a burn ticket for about $10. But Clemson is a great atmosphere. They have season ticket holders. I expect the stadium to be full for a 7 p.m. ACC network game. And that's really what it's about. That's where we want the program to be. So we just embrace all of those things and are really looking forward to getting our Niner parents and fans in the stands down in Clemson, and playing our best ball against them. So we're excited for it and know that it's going to be a challenge and prepare us for our future.
Kevin and I can attest to what they got going on down there in Clemson, because the softball stadium is right next door to the baseball. And when we went down for the baseball game a few weeks ago, softball was playing Georgia, and there were more people in that softball stadium than there were in the baseball stadium. I mean, and we saw that berm they have out there and people all over the berm. The game hadn't even started and the place was packed. And
it was just starting warm-ups.
Yeah.
But we had already beaten Georgia like a day before that. So
yeah, they all came running into the baseball stadium after the game was over. We beat Georgia. And we were all like, we been did that.
Yeah, a few days prior. I think we played Georgia on a Sunday at 1 p.m. I believe the game time was, and this is a Wednesday night game at 7. So I think, the game might have a little bit of a different feel, Sunday afternoon versus a Wednesday night for us. But as far as the matchup goes, at the time that we beat Georgia week 2, I think they were ranked 10th. I believe a poll, if my memory's serving me correctly here, I think they were ranked 10th at the time. And so, I expect our team to approach it the same exact way they did that Sunday against Georgia. I think that game specifically really prepares us for this one. And our Duke, extra innings lost by 1 last week, that's really going to prepare us for this one. Clemson's program is a program that we really respect. We think they do things the right way. They've got great players. They've got a great staff. And, we've kind of got a home and a home agreement with them. They're coming back to the Sioux in 2024, and they came to the Sioux in 2022. So I imagine that it's going to be an opponent that you see in our schedule every single year. And, they give us an opportunity to play really good ball, and we're really excited for that opportunity. And we're going to go down to Clemson and get after it.
All right. So after the midweeks, you got 2 midweeks, and then you get jumped right back into conference play. Week 2 of the conference season, going down on the road down to Boca Raton, another nice destination after going to Arizona previously. Take on FAU. FAU is 18-8. They took 2 of 3 last week at UAB. So they're sitting right with Charlotte at the top of the standings early on. Game times Friday at 6, Saturday at 1, and Sunday at 1. Coach, what have you seen from FAU if you've had a chance to take a look yet?
Yeah. They returned some veteran pitching that I think it's been really good in the conference over the past few years. So, I think they're going to be able to pitch. Florida Atlantic has a new coaching staff this year. So I think, anytime you have a positive change, I think there's a lot of momentum behind the program. And so we kind of know that about going into their place this weekend. I think they're going to feel a little bit different of an opponent than they felt for us last year. So, our 10 new players, our 3 transfers and 7 freshmen, they've never played FAU. They don't know what I'm talking about, but our 13 returners that have a lot of history with this matchup in conference, I don't want them to prejudge anything about what they think of FAU in the past. New staff, some new players, it's at their place. Like, I want them to approach the Friday, Saturday, Sunday at Florida Atlantic, just like they're going to approach Wednesday at Clemson, just like they're going to approach Louisville tomorrow here at the Sioux. So I just don't want our focus or our process to really change at all. I want us to be really consistent in the way that we approach every opponent that we play. Jordan Clark is their new head coach, and, she's doing a really great job with their club, and we have a lot of respect for their entire staff. So we expect it to be a really tough matchup for us and a great opportunity for us to come back to Charlotte with another series win, in week 2 of conference play. I will say that our flight schedule is way easier than it was to Arizona, pending any weather maybe that we run into, hopefully not, but we're going direct right into Palm Beach, which I'm really excited about. So no connecting flights. We'll go right into Florida Atlantic. We leave Thursday at, 2:45 p.m. So just to give, anyone that's listening kind of a look into our players' schedule this week. I mean, they had yesterday off, which is a little unusual, but they practice hard today. They've got Louisville tomorrow at Clemson. Our 7 p.m. start at Clemson is because we're on the ACC network. And then we probably will roll back in Charlotte about midnight or a little after on Wednesday night. And then we go to the airport at 12:30 on Thursday as a program. And on top of all of that, they have study hall and they have class, and, they're just like such high achievers, and they don't complain about anything. And they're just always so positive, and they look forward to all these opportunities, even though logistically, like, this is a lot for them to handle, and we'll practice. So we'll land in Palm Beach probably about 4:30. We'll get some food, a pre-practice meal, and then we'll go straight into practice at Florida Atlantic, and have a light practice, just getting to know their field and, everything about their facility. And then we'll finally go to bed Thursday. We play Friday night at 6. So I think Friday during the day will be a little bit of breathing time for us to prepare and, meet as a team and get ready for the first game. But really excited about the entire week, specifically the Florida Atlantic series, for us as a program.
You got any spring training games on tap for the down? Doesn't sound like much downtime for you guys this week.
No, we're very on a regular schedule, which is, so planned out. It's, land Thursday, practice, play, come home Sunday. So no extracurricular activities this time. They actually did ask me, they were like, are we doing anything fun? And I'm like, well, what constitutes as fun? Because to me,
winning
practice,
is fun, right?
Practice into winning a series is fun. They laughed, but nothing extracurricular planned for us. So we do actually, kind of a fun fact, a little insight to the program. We have a fantastic sports psychology team here on campus that our administration has worked so hard to provide our student athletes with that resource of, people that can help them through anything they're going through, from mental performance on the field, routines, how to handle failure, all of those things, to just in general counseling, of anything that they might be experiencing. We also work with outside consulting groups on mental performance and team building and team chemistry. So we actually have Armor Mental Performance, which is a group that we specifically as a program work with. Joe Lopez is actually heavily involved with that program. And so our consultant mental performance coach, Amanda Jones, lives down in South Florida, and she's going to be with us for this Florida Atlantic series, just spending time with our players in the hotel, doing some team sessions. She's not allowed to be in the dugout with us, but she will be at the game observing our kids and their routines and how they handle things, and being able to evaluate that with them. So definitely looking forward to that opportunity to get down there and, get to work with her, since we're going to be in physical proximity of her. She gets to drive and work with us. She came to Charlotte in the fall, and she does a lot of virtual stuff with our players, through the weeks here while we're at home. But that's a little bit of a difference for this trip, something we're doing that they're looking forward to.
Just checking the schedules here. It looks like there is no way for Niner fans to see the FAU series unless you go down to Boca Raton in person. So if you're feeling that, it's going to be warm down there, not here. So I don't know, might be a good time to head down to Boca Raton, but no. So you can see some Niner softball this week. ESPN Plus for tomorrow, but why would you want to do that? Just go to the Sioux. And then on Wednesday night, ACC Network at 7:00.
Yeah.
Avail yourself of those opportunities to watch the Diamond Niner Gals on the TV set.
And then I'll ask Bryant Avery, our SID, who does a fantastic job, just to make sure our Twitter is super up to date and, very lively with not having any coverage on the weekend. I don't know if that's accurate. I can check on that as far as if we're not on COSA TV or anything. I haven't actually been told that, but if we're not,
either do they. And honestly, with FAU,
yeah. Well,
you're lucky to show baseball.
I'll ask Bryant to be really good about updating the Twitter as fast and as possible as he can, as he manages our scoring and all of that, to help those that aren't with us.
We need to get some Uni-Watch pictures too. We got to know the threads you guys are wearing.
Oh yeah. Okay. I can definitely. Tomorrow against Louisville, we'll be in our gold pens, so our white with gold pinstripes, and then we'll be in our green Niners down in Clemson on Wednesday. So I can definitely give you that insight.
How about that, Kevin? You're getting uniform. You're getting uniform info before.
You know what? I should have brought. We have actually a new helmet that you're going to see this week. So be on the lookout for our new helmet reveal live here at the Sioux or on the ACC network down in Clemson.
All right.
I'm in. All right, Coach, we're out of time for this week. Let's put a bow on this one. We appreciate everybody tuning in to the Diamond Niner Gals podcast. If you're enjoying the show, make sure to click subscribe on our YouTube channel and turn on notifications so you can be notified of fresh content. You can also find the Diamond Niner Gals podcast on Spotify. Follow Diamond Niner Report, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Still no TikTok. Still, more content there. We love hearing from you, like we heard from Ken. Feel free to hit us up on social or just say hello the next time you see us. For Kevin, producer Brad, and Coach Chastain, this is Nick saying, we'll see you at the Sioux.